All right, guys. Well, we had a little bit of a delay there in the first, but yeah, we're live. All right, so welcome to the Mostly Sports Talk Show, and I am Rich Murphy, the former host of the Murphy and E-Dubs Sports Show. From what I understand, that E-Dubs has this thing going on right now. I don't know if it's called Burgers and Bowls or the E-Dubs Sports Show, but you know what? I don't know where he has his podcast set up, but you know what? Google it, something. Go check him out. Give him some love. E-Dubs did a really good job here, so maybe we'll get him on in the middle of the year or the end of the year to talk some baseball. But for now, this is the Mostly Sports Talk Show, and I am your host, Rich Murphy. So listen, we've had a lot of stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I've been on live. And I don't know, I got to start doing this a little more, get some practice because at the end of the day, I'm going to want to retire from being an iron worker and whatever it is I do and maybe do this full time. And hey, maybe somebody give me a big contract and pay me to do this because eventually that's what I'd like to do. So we got a Sunday morning. We got a lot of sports going on today. We got some baseball, Mets and Cardinals. We got the Yankees playing today. We got a game 7 with the Warriors and the Rockets. We got a game 1 with the Cavs. And I don't know. The playoffs have been pretty good. Baseball's been pretty good lately, but I'm going to start off with a little something. Like I said to you, this is the Mostly Sports Talk Show. So the Mostly Sports Talk Show is going to give you mostly sports. It's also going to give you a little take on a couple of others. I want to touch on something in my personal life. I got 2 kids, as you know, Aiden and Jack. And I talk about Jack all the time. He's my chef. He's going to the Culinary Institute of America starting in September, and I'm very proud of him. He's found his passion. He's found his calling. His dreams to work in a Michelin star restaurant, become one of the greatest chefs that ever lived. So the other day, my son Aiden has been up in the air about what he wants to do. He doesn't know what he wants to major in. He doesn't know what school he's going to go to. Well, he's got his business administration degree from Dutchess Community College. Okay, now he's up in the air about if he wanted to continue, if he didn't want to continue. But my son wants to get into the sports world. He wants to probably, be one of the guys that's like behind the scenes, I guess you'd say. He's a little shy, but he wants to get into the sports world. Very knowledgeable about sports. I think the kid probably knows more about the Mets / and baseball than I do. And I've been watching it for longer than he has, but he's a very passionate sports fan. And he loves it. The other day, took him up to Marist. Marist is a university. It's just changed its name from Marist College to Marist University. And put his application in, a couple of weeks ago, wrote an essay, had a 2.9 GPA coming out of Dutchess Community College. Which, I know he could have done better, but he really didn't think he was going to go for his bachelor's. But now, as of the other day, my son Aiden will be attending Marist University in the fall. I'm super duper proud of this kid. I'm super duper proud of both of my kids. Both of my kids work very hard. And listen, for 2 parents who didn't really sniff college too much. I mean, I have a couple of college credits, but college wasn't for me, and college definitely wasn't for my wife either. But we made a life. My wife's a cosmetologist. I became an iron worker thanks to my uncle Michael. Got me into this business, and that's coming to an end for me real soon too. So I'm gonna have to try and find something for me to do. But I don't know. Aiden and Jack. I got 2 college students. I got one going to the #1 culinary institute in the world. And my other son, Aiden, is going to Marist, one of the top universities in our area. So I got a sports communication major and a culinary major. So the 2 of those boys are going to go on one day to do great things. And like I said, man, being a dad is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I'm super proud of these 2 kids. And I don't know what we're going to do next year when they're both gone. It's going to be me and my wife. And I don't know, see what happens when the kids fly the coop, go on one day. And hopefully one day they're going to give us grandchildren. Hopefully maybe one day, I don't know. We'll see what the future brings us. But for now, I got to let you guys know that I am very, very, very proud of my son, Aiden, for being accepted to Marist University the other day. And Jack going to the Culinary Institute of America. Which leads me to a word. Now, I don't know if, sometimes I don't just do sports on here. I do other things also. I delve into, what men go through on a daily basis. I delve through what I go through on a daily basis. I talked a little bit about what I went through about 2 years ago, and how I watched myself kind of like almost fizzling out, uh, succumbing to a lot of stuff that was going on in my own head. But I worked it out and I'm good now. Just sneaks up on you guys. But to be honest with you, I'm pretty good now. And this word I want to describe to you is something that the word is euphoria. Now, euphoric feelings can be brought on in a whole bunch of different ways. Euphoric feelings can be brought on by the feeling of love. Euphoric feelings can be brought on by drugs. Euphoric feelings can be brought on by thoughts. But a feeling of euphoria is like the ultimate feeling, the ultimate high, the ultimate satisfaction. That's what euphoria can be described to, I guess, as me. Now, I've said to you guys in the past, I'm going to be 53 in a couple of days. And since I was a little kid, I'm riddled with ADD. I'm an overthinker, which is one of the real hard things to get over when you have ADD like I do. Everything becomes an overthought, whether it's going to the store, whether it's what people are going to say. Now, I might out there sound like or put on this, well, I guess it's not even a facade. This is who I am. I'm a very confident person. But being confident comes along with overthinking as well. Because in order to, have full confidence, the overthinking part can't overcome that. Because when you overthink stuff, you get in your own head and there's really nothing to get you out of it. So that's one of the main things that I deal with every day as far as my diagnosis of ADD goes. I overthink. Now, to me, there is no feeling in the world. Now, this probably is one of, besides the love I have for my children, besides I have the love I have for my wife, this feeling cannot be taken over or taken the place of, you know, this doesn't involve doing any kind of drugs. This doesn't involve drinking anything. This involves just a thought process of overthinking. Now, when you have something going on in your life and you seem like it's insurmountable, you have something, whether it be a money problem, whether it be a work problem, whether it be a relationship problem, whatever that problem in your life might be, the overthinker always takes that to the second level, the third level, the fourth level. So even if the thing you're thinking about really maybe doesn't seem like that big a deal to other people, but in a person's mind that overthinks like I do, it's constant struggle. There's no feeling in the world like overthinking something that's really bothering you and you've been thinking in your head that it's insurmountable. Nothing's ever gonna, nothing's ever gonna help. Nothing's ever gonna get me out of this. But then one day you turn around, something happens, and then snap of a finger, your problems were all solved. That problem isn't there anymore. You solved it. Maybe whatever you've been thinking about, maybe you put something into action, or maybe it's other people's actions that cause you to feel this way. But the feeling of going from the feeling of dread and insurmountable thoughts that this is it, I am never going to get out of this, to all of a sudden the feeling of all that weight being lifted off of your shoulders. There's no feeling in the world like that, especially for an overthinker. Because if you're thinking of dread every single day, you're thinking of, God, this is going to happen. This is bad. I can't take care of this, or I can't handle this. And all of a sudden it's handled. Euphoria that you feel when that is overcome is unimaginable. There's nothing that can replace it. There's no drug, there's no drink, there's no feeling. The feeling of no worries anymore. Feeling of I don't have to worry about this, or the feeling I don't have to worry about that. There's no feeling in the world like that. So the euphoric feeling of an overthinker is the overthinker goes all the way down into the doldrums of this is dark. This sucks. I'm never going to get out of this. And the overthinker, all of a sudden, when that's solved, the overthinker's brain goes to the ultimate level as well, because as much as you felt dread, now you feel release, you feel happiness, you feel, wow, you feel like 1,000-pound weight has been lifted over your head. So to me, being an overthinker is the ultimate feeling of letting that weight being lifted off your head. There's no feeling that replaces that, because you could go from extremely sad to extremely happy in about a half a second. And just that change in your serotonin, dopamine levels is just an unbelievable feeling for your brain. And it's just unbelievable to just project on other people, because other people look at you and they say, wow, you've been acting a certain way. And you're so adamant about it. I've had all this on my mind and I didn't realize it. And all these people are telling you that you've changed, and all these people are telling you that what's going on, what's wrong. You're sick of hearing about what's wrong. And then all of a sudden, when what's wrong is done, over, you're back. You feel great. So the whole ADD aspect that I have going on in my head is I'm an overthinker. My overthinking sometimes is a detriment, and my overthinking is sometimes a gift. I call people with ADD, they have superpowers. I call it superheroes, because we can transform into any situation. We can make other people feel so good about themselves by giving advice that we don't always take ourselves. I've always been told I'm great at giving advice. I give people advice, they follow it. But when I turn around to try to give myself that same advice and I don't take it, I don't follow through. And that's another thing with somebody with ADD and overthinking. We don't follow through with things. We think, and all of a sudden, it's not going to work. Or, we're not going to do it. But that whole thing with the overthinking and everything coming to the end and everything being worked out, the feeling of euphoria when it comes to that is just unbelievable. It's nothing in the world that can replace that, except for maybe the love for my children and my family. So obviously, from that story, I could tell you that everything's going pretty good now. My life has been well. I mean, I'm working, and at this point in my time, 25 years as a union iron worker, that's coming to an end as well. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, depends on my situation. But being a union iron worker for so long, being a union iron worker for 25 years, it's afforded me the luxury to maybe retire and maybe do something a little less strenuous on my body. So that's another thing that's happening in my life right now that I could tell you that there's an end game. There's a retirement game. There's a game. I know I call it a game because everything in life is considered, or, everything is compared to a game when it comes to the male brain, because everything's about sports. But life is a game. And this part of the game might be coming to an end. But just because this part of the game is coming to an end doesn't mean there's a new life ahead. There's possible grandchildren in the future. There's a possible move in the future. I don't know where we're going to be. I want to be at the beach. So we're going to be here in New York. Or we're going to split our time. That's the next level. That's the next step in our life. Me and my wife are going to figure this out. My kids are fine now. They're going to college. So we got about 2 years left over here, and to think about what we really want to do. And if what we really want to do is stay in New York, or if you really want to do is move down to where it's hot, down to the beach, then that's exactly where we're going to go. So, let's see here.